Hello students, how are you? Today we are going to see the last part of grammar of Unit 8, reported speech, estilo indirecto. I am going to explain to you in English how it's formed, what is used for, and later at the end I will give you the explanation in Spanish as well, okay? Just in case you get lost or whatever. First thing I want you to pay attention is what is used for. The structure will be later, okay? This time it will be different. We will start with the use and later the structure. Okay, here it says for saying something to a person that someone else said before. It is used for reproducing conversations that people had in the past. So imagine, for example, if you have a conversation with one of your friends and later you want to tell another friend that conversation, you are reproducing what the first person said, okay? So I know that is a little bit confusing, but with an example is much easier. Okay, here, for example, imagine that on Monday, Peter says to his mom, "Mom, my bedroom is clean today." That is direct speech, direct sentence, because he's saying directly to his mom, my bedroom is clean today. Okay, but on Tuesday, Peter Mams wants to say to Peter's dad what Peter said the day before, okay? And she says, Peter told me that his room was clean that day. So here you can see that are several differences. First, of course, is the subject of the sentence is different because we are saying Peter, the person who talked before, told me his room instead of my room because it's his, not mine in this case, and is changed into was, okay? And today is changed into that day. So we are going to see that how do we turn a direct sentence into a reported sentence. We have to take into account three different things. We have to change the verbal tense, the pronouns that are used in the direct sentence, and the temporary expressions such as today, tomorrow, next year, last Friday, or whatever, okay? So something that I want you to keep in mind is that when we use a reported sentence, we can use told or told plus the person or said, okay? So for example, you can say Peter told me, told plus the person that he was very tired that day, or you can say Peter said that without person, he was very tired that day, okay? So both ways are correct, but we have to remember that with told, we need a direct complement later, which is a person, and with said, we don't use a direct complement. So both of ways are perfectly correct, okay? Let's see now, one by one, how these changes are made. For example, the verb test change, it says to rephrase, to say what someone else, another person said before, we have to include in the reported sentence the previous tense to the verb that was used in the direct sentence. Okay, so let's see a summary of this. If you can remember the example that we used at the beginning of the video, Peter says, Mom, my bedroom is clean today. And Peter's mom says to his dad, Peter said that his bedroom was clean that day. So is, which is present simple, was changed into past simple, which is the previous tense to present simple. We are going to see a summary which is very useful for you, and you can use this table as many times as you need, okay? For example, present simple is changed into past simple. So if we see that in the direct sentence we have a verb with present simple, we have to change in reported sentence into past simple. With present continuous, it is changed into past continuous. With past simple, it is changed into past perfect, which is the previous tense of past simple. Past perfect has been studied before during this term. So I suppose that you can remember it very well, or I hope that. Okay, present perfect is changed as well into past perfect. Okay, this one is a little bit different because will is changed into would. Can is changed into could. May is changed into might. And must or have to, both of them are changed into had to. There is not a way for must in past, just had to. I mean, this one is used for both of them. Okay, so as I told you before, please use this table. It's very useful, but also it's very intuitive as well to see when we are using a verbal tense in a sentence. If we see which is the tense that we are using in the direct speech, is very intuitive to determine, to figure out which will be the next tense. Okay, because if it's present, it will be past. If it's present but continuous, it will be past continuous. If it's present perfect, it will be past perfect. Okay, but if you can't remember this, please check this table when you need. Okay, we are going to see now the example of the beginning. For example, Mom, my bedroom, Peter says, Mom, my bedroom is clean today. This is the direct sentence, okay? And on Tuesday, Peter's mom says to Peter's dad, Peter told me that his room was clean that day. So as you can see here, the verb to be is in present simple. So the verb to be in the reported speech must be in past simple, okay? We have changed this tense into this one. Now, I told you that the second thing that we have to take into account is the pronouns change. Okay, yes, because, for example, if we are using a sentence with my bedroom or my car or whatever, later, if someone else use my sentence, they can't say my car because it's her car. I'm a girl. If I were a boy, someone else had to say his car. Okay, so we're going to see a summary here, another table to take into account, which is the personal pronoun I is used for is change into the direct indirect sentence or reported sentence into he or she, depending if it's a boy or a girl. My, the possessive adjective my is changed into his or her as well, depending on the subject. Okay, as I told you before, if it's a boy or if it's a girl. And later with plurals, if we use we in the direct sentence, in the reported one we will use they, and with the positive adjective our, we will use their in the indirect one. Okay. We are going to go back again to the example of the beginning because it's clearer to see this way. For example, again, Mom, my bedroom is clean today, the direct one. So on Tuesday, Peter's mom says to Peter's dad, Peter told me that his bedroom was clean that day because it's not her bedroom, it's his, okay? So we have to take into account who is talking, okay? Okay, even we could change here, instead of saying Peter, we could say he, okay? So the change of pronouns in here is my, change into his, okay? If Peter was, I don't know, Mary, instead of his, we would use her, right? And now the time expression change. Finally, the last part that we have to take into account is that the time expressions are also changed. We are going to see a summary as well. Another table to take into account. If we have indirect sentences now, in the reported one, we will say in that moment. If we use today, that day. Yesterday, we could say in two different ways, the day before or the previous day. Tomorrow, we can use the next day or the following day. Last week, last month, last Friday, whatever. The month before, the previous month, the previous or the last Friday, for example. And when we use next with week, month, or whatever, we have to use the next week, the following week, and so on. Okay? So, the last example that I'm going to give you with this. Imagine that I say, children, you have to do the report the speech worksheet today. So The students can say the teacher said that we had to do the report the speech worksheet that day. We are changing the subject, the verb, here, have, had, and today is changed into that day, okay? So, this is the end of the explanation in English and we are going to start again in Spanish, okay? Bueno, vamos a dar la vuelta y vamos a empezar con el estilo indirecto. El estilo indirecto, esta vez vamos a empezar a explicarlo para qué se usa primero y después cómo se forma, ¿vale? Cuando usamos estilo indirecto es cuando queremos contarle a alguien algo que ha dicho una tercera persona. Imaginaos lo típico, ¿no? Que estáis hablando con amigos y te dicen, pues, el otro día envía a tu madre y tú le cuentas al día siguiente a tu amigo, pues me dijo Pepito que había visto a mi madre, ¿vale? Es cuando contamos algo que alguien anteriormente lo ha dicho durante una conversación, ¿vale? Esto es para lo que utilizamos el estilo indirecto. Vamos a ver el primer ejemplo. Tenemos que, por ejemplo, el lunes dice Peter, mamá, mi habitación está limpia hoy, ¿vale? Y lo dice de forma directa, ¿vale? Pero el martes, la madre de Peter se lo quiere decir al padre Peter y dice, pues Peter me dijo que su habitación estaba limpia ese día, ¿vale? Como veis aquí hay varios cambios que los vamos a ver ahora mismo, los que tenemos que tener en cuenta a la hora de cambiar una frase una frase directa a una frase indirecta. Por cierto, sé que en algunas ocasiones cuando lo he explicado en inglés he dicho, reported speech o reported sentence, es lo mismo, reported speech es como la charla indirecta y reported sentence es la oración indirecta, ¿vale? Ya está, es lo mismo. Para que no os liéis, porque a lo mejor veis el título reported speech y decís, ¿y por qué dice sentence ahora de repente? Vale, esto es lo que tenemos que tener en cuenta a la hora de hacer un cambio de estilo directo a indirecto. Tenemos que tener en cuenta los tiempos verbales, los pronombres que se hayan utilizado en la frase directa y las expresiones de tiempo, ¿vale? Ahora vamos a ver una por una. Una cosa importante, esto es cuando hacemos una frase indirecta, podemos utilizar told más la persona, más el complemento directo, o said directamente sin complemento directo. Es decir, la frase que hemos utilizado anteriormente podría ser, Peter told me that he was very tired that day, o podríamos decir, Peter said that, sin ninguna persona, sin complemento directo entre medias, he was very tired that day. O sea que se puede usar de las dos maneras, told más persona y la frase, o said más la frase, ¿vale? Directamente. Bueno, vamos a ir una por una, como hemos dicho, de esto. El cambio de los verbos. Cuando tenemos un verbo en una frase directa, tenemos que poner en la indirecta el tiempo verbal anterior que corresponde a ese tiempo verbal. Como esto suena un poco raro dicho así, vamos a verlo en este cuadrito, en este resumen, que podéis volver a él las veces que necesitéis. Tenemos el presente simple cambia a pasado simple, como en el ejemplo que hemos puesto al principio, el presente continuo en pasado continuo, pasado simple en pasado perfecto, etc. Como os he dicho antes en inglés, el pasado perfecto lo hemos visto hace poco, así que se supone o espero que os acordéis cómo se forma. Los únicos un poquito más distintos serían will, que cambia a would, y luego may cambia a might, y must y have to, que los dos cambian a had to, ¿vale? Had to, los dos. Tanto si usamos must en el directo, como si usamos have to en el directo, en el indirecto ambos van a ser had to. Bueno, aquí tenemos el ejemplo del principio que lo hemos estado usando también en inglés todo el rato para que veáis cada uno de estos cambios. Por ejemplo, el lunes tenemos que Peter dice, mamá, mi habitación está limpia hoy. Frase directa. Y el martes le dice la madre al padre de Peter, Peter me dijo que su habitación estaba limpia ese día. Entonces hemos cambiado que el presente simple en este caso pasa a pasado simple, como veis aquí. Vamos a ver el cambio de los pronombres. Los pronombres también se tienen que cambiar porque, igual que ha dicho Peter, mi habitación, si yo luego quiero hablar de él, no puedo decir mi habitación, tengo que decir su habitación de él. Pero claro, en inglés tenemos que tener en cuenta si es un chico o una chica, porque cambia. Sabéis que en español usamos su para él y para ella, su coche, su habitación, sus cosas, incluso en plural, pero en inglés tenemos que o her, dependiendo de si es un chico o una chica. Entonces, pues bueno, aquí tenemos, cuando usamos el pronombre personal I, tenemos que poner he o she, a la hora de, o directamente el nombre propio, como en el caso de Peter, a la hora de hacer el indirecto, y my, que es el adjetivo posesivo de me, tendría que cambiar a his o her, su, ¿vale? Y cuando son plurales, cuando tenemos we, como diríamos en el